Ready? We call to order the May 6th Seabrook City Council meeting. It is 6 p.m. Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Okay. Item 1.1, public comments and announcements. This time, we'd like to listen to any member of the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum of 4 minutes for each speaker, shall be limited to city business or city-related business or matters of general public interest, and shall not include any personal attacks. In accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, members may not discuss or take action on any item that has not been posted on the agenda. When your name is called, please come to the podium and state your name and address clearly into the microphone before making your comments. Paul Robinson.
Thank you, Mayor. It's great to see current faces and new faces. And after 18 years of doing this event, I've seen a lot of great people that have given us tremendous support to make the Texas Outlaw Challenge, which I produce, a success every year. It's always the third week of June, so we're working hard to get it up and going. We're looking at a record year, and there's likely lots of reasons for that. But the main reason, I think, is people are wanting to come back to this area. Our construction's done. I think the whole economy, your opinion on that, I think, is important. But my industry of boaters, coast to coast, are coming to this event as they have in the past, and even with new folks. We're on the cover of a new magazine, a national publication again. Texas Rules Outlaw Challenge turns up the heat. Well, that's certainly what we do in June, but people come for the amenities, the lake, the restaurants, all the things that we offer in this area. This is one of the cards that goes out. We have 5,000 people on our direct mailing list. I'm kind of old school. I like to get something in the mail with all our logos of our sponsors on the back. That's a growing list as well. We have new people wanting to get involved. The reason coming today is really to hand out the resolution that I bring every year. This is a resolution that the 7 cities with jurisdiction on the lake review and approve in order for the Outlaw Challenge to have 4 hours of no wake zone on Clear Lake on the Friday morning of our event. This document and the approval that we always receive is what has a safety record that's 100% perfect. And we have boats going the 3/4 mile pass in 180 plus miles an hour. So we have a huge safety force, lots of boaters, lots of the area people that come and support, truly on the safety side of things that keeps this in the forefront and lets us have a successful event every year. So I would like to leave this, Council. Please review that. That's for the upcoming event. Another thing I might add is we have some obstacles in the lake this year. We had some last year, derelict boats that seem to be finding their way into the lake. If you don't know, and I'm sure you don't, I was sued last year by one of the boats because I moved its anchor. And this is a boat that had no lights, windows broken out of it, just a derelict looking vessel. And I moved it to keep my participants safe and to keep the boat safe. And I was sued for $25,000. We agreed on a lesser amount after some negotiation. And I'll be happy to pay that again. No, but I will pay it again because the safety of my people, our guests that come to this community has to be 100% my priority. And if I have to do that again, I will. I'm hoping it will clean up. It's increased. It's gone viral for some reason. And I'm very concerned about it. There's other groups that are looking into it. I've attended some meetings. I hope there's some progress. I'm on a countdown here to June 20th is my date. But we will have the event. It will be safe. if I have to get sued for moving a derelict boat 100 yards away and moving it back after the event, if the maritime law says I get sued, I get sued. But it'd be a shame for that to happen. So I hope maybe there's something in the works that will take care of that. And lastly, I'd also like to mention that the city also sponsors our fishing tournament. This is our 4th year of our tournament, and it's a great event. Our charity for that effort is Home, helping our military endure. This group sends the goodie packages to our military men and women overseas every year, and we support those. So if you have a group from the city that wants to participate, that is coming up June 6th, and we have a great time at Topwater Grill. We have people come in overnight because the captain's meeting is the night before, so we have people stay and then go out early in the morning. So just wanted to thank council for all the support you've given me, and all the volunteers that know of you, that support you as well here locally in town. So looking forward to reaching 20 years and beyond. But it's been quite a ride, and again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Glenn Royal.
Mayor and Council, Glenn Royal, 2301 Pinhook Court. I'm just here tonight really to express my gratitude and appreciation for the work you guys all do, women, men and women. I was here 8 years ago tonight, and I turned over a gavel. And one of the things about that, having been a mayor, I'll let you know, if you talk to a bunch of other mayors around the area, you want to make sure what your legacy, the things you started, kind of carry on. And Tom has done that beyond anything I could have ever dreamed. And I really appreciate you, everything you've done for the city. I'm mindful that you spent a term on council with me. Mike spent 2 terms on council. And then all your public service and planning and zoning and all that you did before council. So then to come and top it off with 8 years, Seabrook is better off because of your impact, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
The rest of you too, all of you, I know to some extent, getting to know some better. I think you all have brought such good ideas and knowledge to this city, and you gave your best effort, your best heart. You always bring that, and I appreciate that. I want to thank you all for your service on council. Mike, I don't know how you keep doing this, but my hat's off to you. But the newcomers that are coming in, I mean, it's almost the whole council, only 2, right, that are staying. Buddy, Tommy, the one mantra, it was a self-mantra I always kept myself to kind of help me as mayor, I think, and it was whatever I did, it was under the guise of, is this in the best interest of Seabrook? Every action, every word, every post, is this in the best interest of Seabrook? And that's a charge I kind of want to give you right now as the incoming council and those that are staying. I know you always do that, but continue that spirit. That's what made this a really great city here by the bay. And I'm proud to be a citizen here, and thank you all for everything you've done. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Glenn. Presentations of the biannual report from the Seabrook Economic Development Corporation. Oh, I'm sorry, 1.1, mayor, city, and council members and city staff shall make announcements about city community events. Rob?
It's all right, Tom. I'm not offended in any way.
Well, I was trying.
There's only 2 things on the list today. The first one is Wednesday, May 14th. That's not tomorrow, but next Wednesday. Seabrook Police Department having their 5th annual blood drive. It's right across the road at Community House. It starts at 3:30 p.m. Come and donate to a worthy cause. On Saturday, May 17th, Kites over Pine Gully Park. Sounds like it ought to be a fun event. That is from 9 to 11 a.m. at Pine Gully Park. Kites over Pine Gully. Go by and check it out. Is there anything I've missed?
Well, you didn't miss it, but just to add to that, Monday, May 26th is Memorial Day, and we'll have our annual, celebration there at 9 a.m. at the Bay Area Veterans Memorial.
Anybody else? Okay. Now, Paul. 2.1, presentation of the biannual report from the Seabrook Economic Development Corporation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Paul Dunphy, and I'm the principal of the Economic Development Corporation of City of Seabrook, and we have our semi-annual report. Gail, you're going to put it up? Since I don't have a copy of it. So just in general, as everyone should know, we have an Economic Development Corporation. Oh, I do have a copy of it. In the city of Seabrook, and it comprises of citizens and 2 council people and the mayor, so we'll be changing over. We are here to incentivize local businesses and new businesses to come to the city of Seabrook so that we can improve our quality of life and our tax base, which in turn improves our quality of life and the city we live in. And this year, I'd like to go through some of the things that we've got going on and some of our priorities, which we work on diligently on basically every month when we meet. And we are, this past year, there's been some changes in our focus and on how we're going to proceed on doing things because of input from many places. But from our financial report, as you can see, our income is consistent at $713,000, and our expenses are lower. And on the chart of things that we do spend money on, obviously, it is the transfer for bonds that we've done. One is this building, different items that the city, we used the funds. Our revenue sources are a 0.25% of sales tax from the sales in the city of Seabrook. And other ones are transferred for administration costs, consultants, trail maintenance, projects, obviously, incentives for businesses, which we'll go through some of those here shortly. We are always challenged in a small city with the economic items that we can work on. Obviously, the EDC follows a set of laws that allows us to spend money in certain spots, and we are restricted. And it is restricted for multiple purposes, but basically is that it has to follow certain criteria and improve either quality of life or incentives or jobs or revenue basis for income on taxes. So and being a small city and not really having an expansive area to grow, lots of communities throughout the United States may have industrial parks that are abandoned, steel mills, things that are large corporations that's moved out and the city has no tax base and they need to generate taxes. So they go out and generate and try to find some business to move into those dilapidated and abandoned properties. We don't necessarily have that. We have a very limited, if you really look around the city, there's very limited opportunities for us. And so where we're focused on is, obviously, we've been focused on Old Seabrook for many years. We have our north end commercial area. We have 146, which obviously we just finished. Lots of changes, lose 55 businesses, but now the other businesses are all coming around. The Circle redevelopment and so on and so forth, waterfront, the Point, things like that. So one of our challenges is creating more prospects, and that's prospects are people that are interested in our community, and one of the limitations for us is always rooftops. Most corporations that are looking to expand into an area are looking for population. Well, our city is very limited because we have a hard side to the water. We don't have homes or houses on that side, and we can't expand in that area. So that's always been a challenge. Bringing in new grocery stores, bringing in larger companies has been a challenge. So we're going to focus this year on trying to establish more prospects to bring it in and work with potential people that are interested in trying to show them why you would want to come to Seabrook. A lack of available building shovel ready. So these are projects. Now the city doesn't own the projects. They're businesses or developers that own the property or may want to buy the property. And what we can do is assist them in, hopefully with the city staff, getting permitting, working that, and then coming up with some incentive that follows the law and follows the best interests of our city. And it's a challenge. It's very challenging to do that and not just give city money away. I mean, it would be very easy just to give everyone money, but that's not the purpose, not by the law, and I don't think it benefits our city. So building shovel-ready, locating them and working it and building it up as we have for many years. Some of the projects we work on for 10 years. We meet and the developer may buy it and then they got to raise the money and then they got to sign the leases and they got to do it, and lots of them fail. All we can do is incentivize them, professionally until they have performed, because our expenditures are always based on performance. So until they finish the project and do what we agreed on, the funds don't get sent. Difficult parcel combinations. One of the challenges this last couple of years obviously is 146. Lots of the properties were cut in half by the right-of-ways. So now it's trying to parcel those together, and that's what, it's real easy to go in and buy, as a developer, 20 acres and subdivide it and build and do projects. It's much harder to acquire 2 or 3 pieces of property, replat it, permit it, design it, and make it work. It takes a long time. But those are some challenges we definitely have in this city. And we are identifying them and trying to see what parcels we can put together for a developer to purchase. Old Seabrook has always been, anyone that's lived in Old Seabrook, it's always a main topic of ours to see what we can do with our gem. It's our little, slice of home and small community. We have done several, and I know sometimes people, doing studies and spending money to do studies, it's very cumbersome, it's time consuming, and is there a benefit? Is it just another book that goes on the shelf, or can we use it? It's a challenge, the parking's a challenge, the accessibility, the ditches in Old Seabrook, the small streets, but it's always something we're focused on, and it's a high priority. The Red Bluff District and State Highway 146, which is the north part, it's an industrial area on the east side, north, old 146. We've had several developers come in. We've been successful on a couple of them, and a couple we have not been. The city and planning and council just have felt that that's not the best for the city. We're going to continually to work with those and trying to get some of that. Then let's go through some of our accomplishments. Business development reviewed and approved funding for 6 projects over $650,000 this past year, including restaurant renovations, facade improvements, small business capacity builds. Infrastructure, executed professional service agreement for gateway and wayfinding signage. Over the years, we did a sign project that you guys all be running around Seabrook. You'll see that they're everywhere. I think there's, 12 or 16 of them. We originally were part of that program. It's time to renew that. So we're trying to, with 146, a massive project on signage, how to, when someone enters the city, do they know they're in city of Seabrook? Do they know where to go and where all the businesses are? That's what we're going to be focusing on this year. With the signage design that we already have. District planning, complete schematic option for Old Seabrook. Again, the Livable Center is a project that we've had going on, and it's constantly being reviewed and seeing what pieces we can do as EDC and work with council to do that. So that will be some upbringing things that we're going to be working on. This year launched the Seabrook is Open campaign with 146 and finishing of that, which hopefully will allow some of the developers to realize, hey, it's time to come to Seabrook. Communication, the newsletter and the strong, consistent engagement. We're constantly with staff working on Facebook pages and social media trying to communicate to developers and our community what's going on. Business retention and expansion, we rolled out the anniversary celebration, which we have one coming out in a couple of weeks. I know most of you guys have attended most of them when we pick an anniversary, a business in town, and celebrate them and go to their facility and try to promote their business within the city of Seabrook. EDC initiatives, business anniversaries program, groundbreaking, business of the year, we do every year, and this last year was Snap Fitness, Seabrook Pals, the mini mural program that we are sponsoring. We are through some incentives and grants, Margarita Jones, which looks like they're getting close to opening. Barge 295, we did the development and a rebate. Miramar Shopping Center, mostly for their parking and lighting area, which really improved 146 in the vision of Seabrook when you're passing through. Seabrook Retail, an applicant for a redevelopment incentive program for a facade. Midnight Slice to redo their parking area. So as you can see, we're trying to be involved in any applicable city business that wants to do an incentive or come to the city of Seabrook. We're constantly working with them, and I believe Seabrook, for all the years that I've been involved, you do have a mayor, you do have a city staff, a city manager that will constantly meet with anyone that's interested in coming, and EDC is right there with them. That's my presentation for this evening. Any questions?
Any questions, anybody? Thank you, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Good job. 3.0, the consent agenda. 3.1, approve the minutes of the April 15th, 2025 City Council meeting.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
All in favor? It's unanimous. 4.0, the bid awards. 4.1, consider and take all appropriate action on a bid award to Magnaflow Environmental LLC for RFP 2025-5-422, removal and disposal of wastewater treatment plant sludge, rags, debris at the Main Street wastewater treatment plant in the amount not to exceed $208,725 and authorizing the city manager to execute the contract.
Move to approve 4.1.
This is
That's in the state.
the next phase in the plant demo. We have dewatered most of the water out of the plant. This step would be to remove the remaining sludge solids in the plant before we get a demo company to come and demolish it. We only got one bid, Magnaflow. And I can answer any questions that y'all have.
Any questions? All in favor? Thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
5.0, new business. 5.1, consider and take all appropriate action on an amendment for additional items to the Public Safety Fund, city fiscal year ending September 30th, 2025, budget to approve a request for $14,838 to install a generator step-down transfer and purchase two SCBA self-contained breathing apparatus.
Move to approve 5.1.
Anybody have
Any questions? All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
5.2, consider and take all appropriate action on the first reading and final report, or final approval of ordinance 2025-10, amendment number 2, amending the fiscal year budget 2024-25. An ordinance amending the amount of appropriations for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025 by authorizing certain additions in the amount of $86,590 for general public safety and EDC, according to the city manager, to take all appropriate actions necessary to facilitate the changes identified in finding available unencumbered funds for the supplemental appropriation and/or reserve reduction.
Move to approve 5.2.
Any questions? All in favor? Thank you. 6.0, old business. 6.1, consider and take all appropriate action on the approval of a license agreement between the city of Seabrook and Texas Markets for use of property at 1209 Main Street for a period of 6 months for once every 2 weeks.
Mayor, Council, this was last heard at your last regular meeting. We since have worked with the parties that had come forward. They are still interested in the original location, which is the city-owned property next to Merlion on Main Street. We have negotiated a little bit of a lower rental fee per day for the property. We are still in agreement on the other points, which would be making sure that the insurance, restroom facilities, trash pickup, all of that would be handled by the party that's renting the facility. But so the main change on this would be that we've reduced the rate that would be more in line with this event being able to be successful with this particular party.
I make a motion to approve 6.1.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. 7.1, discussion regarding the current condition of the Seabrook Fire Station at 1850 East Meyer, Seabrook, Texas, and potential solutions for improvement.
Okay, we had a meet the candidate thing over there a week or two ago, and the the fire trucks look absolutely fantastic. What I was a little surprised and disappointed in is the interior, the exterior too, but it was at night, but the interior of the building and how it looked. And like if you get those pictures up, but one of the things I noticed, like you see these ceiling tiles, they're all nice and neat, but at the fire station, those are a lot of cobwebs. You see this, there's one in there, if we could blow it up, it's torn. I think the next picture is more of a close-up. But it's one of those things where I think a fire station is kind of a gem of your city. We own mainly 3 buildings in Seabrook. We own, obviously, City Hall, Public Works, and a fire station. And I just think the inside of the fire station should look a lot better than it does. They have some other issues in there too. Like one of the things they have is the garage doors don't, they were originally set up to have automatic open and close, especially close when a truck goes out. Well, I've been told it hasn't worked in years. And I just think that it should work because it's pretty important. And this picture you're seeing right here is the piping. Like when a truck goes out and it's a pumper truck and it uses water, it could come back to the station and get filled right there. Most fire stations in the United States do this exact thing. It was designed for that. This is cut off. So all I'm saying is we should get that hooked back up and use the water. One of the things I was told is they didn't have a meter for it. Well, now that we have smart meters everywhere, we should know how much water they used. I just think that's the way it should work. The other thing is there's a lot of, in the bays, there's the red area where the vehicles are supposed to be parked, and then the gray area where people walk. Well, in one of the gray areas, there's a boat parked in that. You can't get there. That's not an open walkway now. And it wasn't designed for that. It was supposed to be that way. That picture, well, see, that was where an old electric or a thermometer was to set the temperature. And they say it's been like that for a year or two. We got paint. We just should go paint that. The place was built in 2006. It's 19 years old. You got leaks in the ceiling, the roof leaks, and there's mold in the kitchen area. There's black mold. In fact, when I was looking at it to take the picture, I actually started coughing so much I had to walk out. So there's a lot of stains. That's on the inside. And there's a window frame in the very front when you come in. That's where the guest would come in. And the window frame right there, this one right here, that they said that's been like that since Hurricane Ike. So all I'm saying is we could get it fixed. And I'll use an analogy. It's Brian's group now, but when Kevin was there, you guys had issues all the time like, hey, it's not in the budget, but when we were out there working on this pipeline area, we found that this pipe was, messed up and we need $70,000 to fix that. All 7 of us voted yes, here's the $70,000, get that fixed. It's super important. If we would have known this, we would have voted 7-0 to get every one of these things fixed. There's no way we're not going to get that fixed. It's our fire station. This door right here, that door does not close. The door doesn't close because water leaks from the ceiling, and that steel frame for that door has rusted it where it can't close. So that's not acceptable. That needs to be fixed. And again, some of these things can be quick fixed, some of them can't. But we need to find the money to be able to fix the fire station to get that way. And so there is solutions. One, the roof's got to get fixed so there's no leaks. That's number one. The AC system was put in and they found out it was incorrect. It's either too big or too small. And meaning it's not conditioning the air to get all the humidity out. And so the building feels damp, especially in certain rooms, especially the men's bathroom area. It's like it felt really damp in there. And that could be fixed. Now, supposedly they came out, the city approved that to get it fixed, but they actually just did the exact same thing right over again. They took out the old, just replaced it with the same thing. So, but that was a long, long time ago. But that's what's still causing this problem. So you got all these leaks in there. So my question is, can we get this fixed? Why did it take so long? I'm trying to figure out why, because I've heard that, they said they emailed. I don't know who they emailed. They just said they emailed, but I never saw this. So that's why I'm concerned, because if it would have come to us, I think we would have approved the money. So, and then the solution is find the money to get this fixed. And I'd like to hear some other opinions about this because, again, this is a really good fire station. And then my last quick point, the generator outside, they said some rats chewed on some wires or something. It didn't work, but that was the generator that was used during Ike. And I think that generator needs to be fixed. It's a good generator, just get it fixed. And then if it proved itself during Ike, it should be able to continue to keep working. They said it would work if those wires were fixed. So anyway.
Okay. I have been in contact with the fire department for months. And if you recall, Joe, when we're doing the new EMS station, we requested additional monies during that bond election. So that money is not, they're going to start working on all of that stuff as soon as the EMS station, since it's connected to it. That was we asked for additional bids, amended bids for that, all that stuff you're just talking about. So the fire department knows about it. So I'm kind of surprised that the fire department said something and complained about it.
Fire department didn't say anything. I was there and walked around and saw it all myself. Then the fireman came up to me, asked me what I was doing, and I said, why are there so many cobwebs in the ceiling? Why doesn't that door closed? Why is that? So the fireman didn't come to me. I went to them.
Okay, that's not what the fire department said to me. But anyway, all of that stuff is being looked at and being part of the EMS rebuild or the EMS build. That money was asked for
So,
during
Mayor,
that period.
One
Also-
clarification. So on the bonds, the alternate bids
I'm sorry.
are in the EMS expansion. So we most likely will have to come back to council. The funding was for the expansion, but when we were going around with the architects, a lot of these issues came up with the firemen during that time where we've had the picture of the kitchen, for instance. There's a lot of things that I guess original design to that building were not great. And through time, it's not lasted. So we have a number of these alternate bids that are being bid with the EMS expansion that we'll see when the money or the bids come in. We'll have to come back to council for probably additional funds to correct some of the things that you're seeing in the photos. One of the other items, the generator that's up right now, we've been working and council approved the generator grant. That's a HMGP grant. So that's already been awarded. This right now, because this has died, since we already have a new generator that's on order now, we're waiting for that. There's a long lead time on this. This will be completely replaced with a federal grant. We are, as part of your grant or your budget amendment tonight had requested that we do, through the public safety funds, a switch so we can put a generator, a mobile generator in this upcoming hurricane season until the new generator comes in. But this one for sure, it has served well all the way through this last storm, but is dead, and we're working on that for the order that's already in.
Okay, so I hear this. That's good. I'm glad this is going to happen. But on like regular maintenance, like the outside underneath where it says Seabrook Fire Station, it's like black molds right underneath there. It's like yellow. I mean, I think regular maintenance should happen at the fire station. Someone should pressure wash for the whole building. The front end is kind of black. Right now, the lawn is mowed, but there's been times where the lawn's been super high. And then, like the garage door, it was made to have a sensor, so when the truck goes out, it closes after like 20, 30 seconds. But they said that's been broken for years, so I'm just trying to figure, that doesn't take a bond to get it fixed. I just don't know why that can't be, because it doesn't happen here at City Hall, and it's not happening at Public Works. I just think that the regular maintenance should be done on a fire station that's that visible. I mean, I'm hoping that happens in the future because it hadn't happened, and the building's only 19 years old, so I think it should look a lot better. And then some of it is just paint or, like fixing that piece of wood and then putting new sheetrock over it and painting it. That would be fine. I think everybody would be happy with that. I think that could get done. Those are little of those things that you don't need the bond for. Of course, the AC, the generator, all those things, and also the cobwebs in there. I understand the doors have to be open a lot and you're going to get spiders and stuff like that. But man, those things, they're thick in there. It's just really, really thick. And I don't think that's volunteer firemen's job to do it. No one said that it was, but that shouldn't be them doing it. It should be one maybe of our guys or a company that comes in and does that. I just like to see the building look a lot better than it does. So.
Anybody else?
I'd just like to add a couple things. I don't think they get enough credit for being a volunteer, but I mean, even like some of their supplies, they are having to dig into their own pockets to buy cleaning supplies and toilet paper. And then, if we can increase I don't know how exactly that works, if they have a fund specifically for that, but I think we need to look at that so they don't have to do that. There's a room, the bunk room. I really didn't know what the smell was, but it was heavy. And mold is an issue. And I don't think waiting on the expansion or remodel, we should wait at all. So, I'd encourage you to go see for yourselves. It's pretty bad. So I think it needs to be looked at as soon as possible. Thank you for bringing it up, Joe.
Hey, one last thing. So the fire department guys that I talked to that night couldn't have been better, super good. And I said I was bringing something up on the next council meeting. And I didn't even get their names on purpose because I don't want any repercussion to them. At the same time, I brought it up. They didn't bring it up to me. So the firemen didn't do it. I think they do a great job. Like I said, you could eat off those trucks. They're that clean. And so they take care of those trucks fantastic. It was just the inside of the building that I think needs some work. And all I'm doing is bringing it up to make sure that it gets that attention that it needs and deserves. That's it.
Anybody else? 7.2, discussion regarding the Seabrook Economic Development Corporation incentive programs, past agreements, return on investments, ROI performance requirements, and fiscal outcomes.
This can go real quick, and this is to you. At one of the meetings you brought up, it was about 2 months ago, you said, yeah. They said that you had said that Seabrook Economic Development had given money to some businesses and over the years have lost hundreds of thousands. I don't know if you meant to say hundreds of thousands, maybe just thousands, but that was why I brought this up. I was just wanting clarity to that because I was like, well, I didn't know they had lost hundreds of thousands. So I didn't know if you misspoke but it was in reference to give you some clarity, it was in reference to someone saying, maybe offer the business some money up front, but then you had said, well, there's no guarantee that the business would make it, that type of thing. But then in your report, a week or two later, you had said businesses had lost, or economic development had lost hundreds of thousands by doing that. And I was just wanting some clarity. That's it. So that should be short and simple.
on the agenda, I can, Mayor, do you want me
No, you're not on the agenda.
Well, you can answer the question.
No, that's fine. No, here, let him come. Okay.
And go ahead.
I'm not, this comments that I made, I'm not sure what you're speaking of. If it was in a report, we can surely clear the report up. But I believe what it was is when we, 10, 15 years ago, we made policy on only allow funding, like I said this evening, on performance. So prior to that, it was even before my 20 years, there was several, what was happening is businesses would get the funding up front and the business didn't comply or didn't finish the project. So I had made mention, I believe, that prior to changing our policy on performance-based payments, that monies was lost, and we have record of that. There was many, checks given, and then the building didn't get constructed or the facade didn't get built, so then we changed our policy. I think most cities in Texas changed their policy. So that's what I believe you're referencing.
Perfect. And you cleared that up.
Okay.
That's all it needed. Thanks.
And was that, Paul, was that prior to this EDC? We changed, EDC changed more than 15 years ago, right?
It was prior to my time,
Well,
and
it's-
I think I'm 23 years.
Yeah, and it's state law requires those performance agreements as well.
But didn't that EDC, didn't we disband that
Dissolve.
EDC?
So we had a Type A corporation and a Type B corporation in 92, and I think it ended up dissolving in 96 for Type A.
Correct.
There was some outstanding debts to Type A corporation, and they rolled it over. The city just accepted those debts. We dissolved the corporation,
And I believe that's when all that, it was a past EDC.
Exactly, and you answered the question. Thank you. I just wanted to clear that up because people were asking me, and they go, wait, and I had said, I think it's prior to this anyway, and you just cleared it up. Thank you very much.
8.0 executive session, 8.1, section 551.87, conduct a closed executive session to discuss, deliberate potential financial incentives and financial information received from a business prospect that city EDC seeks to have relocate, stay, or expand, for which the city is conducting economic development negotiations as provided by Texas Government Code, section 551.087. We are adjourned until 6:42.
What are you doing? I didn't get to say hi a while ago.
I have a question, Rachel. How much time have y'all spent on open records requests?
Oh, it's always a lot more during election time. It's pretty typical, but it's, I don't know. We're gonna start recording times. Gail had asked us to, maybe we should start using that software.
Because what I was looking at is in terms of, well, we'll just talk about it.
Thank you.
Everybody here? All right, we've returned from executive session. No action was taken. It is 7:04. 10.0, routine business. 10.1, city manager update and report on city council on various items that require no action, including Seabrook boards and commissions, transportation projects, and City of Seabrook CIP projects.
All right, Mayor and Council, next week on boards and commissions, or last week on your Open Space and Trails Committee, they met on May 1st. The next council will be hearing a recommendation from that board for design and installation project request for trailhead signage. EDC is slotted to meet tomorrow, May 7th. If you've looked at the agenda, that board will be looking at a new application for a coffee shop with Soul Freak Holdings, and they'll also be going under their annual review for their incentive policy. P&Z is scheduled to meet again on May 22nd for a public hearing on a final plat in Edgewater Townhomes. As far as our CIP projects, we continue to work on the water line project for the interconnect off of Old 146. They did a water test, and that ended up failing last week. They'll do it again this week. And hopefully that project will close out. Seascape Water Lines continues. They've laid over 6,000 linear foot of water line in that project. Talking about generators, we have the portable generators and the fire station generators that you guys approved. We've moved through the agreements, and now we're just waiting on what they're telling staff, which is a pretty long lead time. It'll be at least 6 to 7 months before those generators come in. So we're in a long line, but we've got 9 months that we've put them on a deadline. So at least 9 months for the generators to come in per the contracts. Pine Gully Force Main Bore, that's the line that runs across that short bridge out there by Pine Gully. That project is still in progress. Talked about EMS expansion projects, so that we've gone through pre-bid. We've got a number of addendums out there, but still going to do a soon bid opening on that, so the next council will be looking at that pretty soon. Sidewalk project, which is part of our general fund, is continuing through Lake Cove. And our restrooms that I had sent you guys an email on, the guys are working on pad sites for both of those. We'll have the older restroom relocated to Wildlife Park, and then waiting on the new restroom that will be relocated over in Bremerhaven. As far as TxDOT or transportation projects, we're just continuing to work with our contact on a lot of the outstanding issues, and we've set up a meeting with the new director of TxDOT next week so that we can go over some of the thoughts, concerns that we've heard from recent meetings along with the closeout process. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. Have we heard anything from TxDOT on the NASA Road Esplanade project?
Actually, yes, I reached out. They seem to have the same answer, that they're working on a consultant for that, but they're working on it. So I don't really have a straight answer for that, other than they tell us that the medians, we've been talking about this with our updates. It's a median or access management study. TxDOT, we talked about studies. They have to do the study first. That one, once this consultant is on board, it'll be a year-long process of studying, doing medians from 146 all the way through our city limits. They're looking at doing an extended median study that would go, up until the medians start over in Nassau Bay. So the study would come first. then you would put the actual construction project on a TxDOT plan. So they're telling me it's still live, and we've sent them multiple emails, but it's just been I think we've been working on this for 6 years now, so.
Yeah, no. And there'll be another 6. Any other questions, council?
Comment. I see where they cleaned up the land over at where Louis on the Lake used to be. They put a new fence. Looks really good. Thank you.
Anybody else? 10.2, establish future meeting dates and agenda items.
Mayor and council, your next meeting is scheduled for next Tuesday, the 13th at 6 p.m.
We are adjourned at 7:08.
I'm not gonna be here Tuesday.
I don't think so. Yeah.